Today on Flick Nose, we're going to run through the quick stats as well as a couple of strategies that buyers are using today to capitalize on the market. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for checking in for another episode of Flick Nose here. I just wanted to, we're going to real quick run through the quick stats and then hit the strategies. So let's start with the quick stats. New listings in the last 7 days, 21 new listings. Pending 24, almost even. 21 coming on, 24 going off. Closed 32 in the last 7 days, and price reduced 29. That's probably the lowest number of price reductions we've seen in the last 6 weeks here. I think the market is kind of finding itself. Active listings today. So we ended September last month with 929 active listings. October of 21, so a year ago we ended at 709. Today we're at 877. Of those 877, there are 388 that are not pending, so those are good options for you there. Quick stats continue to show that we're kind of in parity here, and also something else willing to, that should be brought to market, or excuse me, brought to your attention is the number of cash transactions. We're still seeing almost 40%. August ended with 37% cash transactions. We're tallying the numbers for September now, see where we stand there. But the market for the last probably year and a half or so has been 37 to as high as 45 or 46% cash. So let me ask you, do you think they're going to get in trouble? I don't think they're going to get in trouble with the bank, if they're paying cash. So almost on average 40, 41, 42% of our market has been purchasing with cash, which is an interesting statistic. Let's get into some of these strategies here. Now, I first wanted to bring to everybody's attention a couple of things. We're looking for that holy trinity as a buyer, right? You've got price. Everybody wants a low price, right? We want low competition. Everybody wants to not be competing with somebody else, so they have more negotiating power. So we've got price, we've got competition, and we've got interest rates here, right? And I bring this up because everybody wants a low rate, a low price, and low competition. Unfortunately, everybody in the buyer pool is looking for all three of those things at the same time. The last 2 years, we've had a very low interest rate, which drove up price and drove up competition. Currently, the interest rate has gone up. Competition has gone down. Interest rates are still historically pretty low, but when we've gotten really used to those 3.5%, even 4% interest rates on second homes, when we're talking 6.5% to 7%, that seems really high. Honestly, it's really still not that bad. Prices. A lot of folks are waiting for the prices to go down right now, and I mean a lot. I probably have 5 or 6 conversations a day about people waiting for prices to go down. I bring this up because I really don't think we're going to have a huge glut in our market. Other home markets, maybe your home market that you're from, we may see price reductions and prices losing value. Maybe if you're in downtown Denver, if you're in Austin, Texas, who has had a huge jump in prices in the last couple of years, California, let's say Ohio, right? We may see those 5-10% corrections in the housing market. Our market is very unique here, right? We are a second home market. Nobody needs to buy, nobody needs to sell a second home. 70% of our market is second homes, right? If you bought that property 10, 15 years ago, you're probably covering the mortgage pretty easy. If you paid 40%, if you paid cash, as 40% of our market has, you don't need to sell, right? You can hang on to it until the market recovers. So I bring this up because right now, competition is low, prices are probably the lowest that they're going to be in the next 10 years, right? I think that some sellers were seeing those price reductions. We're not seeing that crazy competition. As a buyer, you can definitely get in there and do some serious negotiating, and we've done that on a couple of deals so far this year to get things, under contract, right? So let's keep an eye on this, because very rarely do you have all three, right? You might have low competition. So if we're going low competition, you might be sacrificing on price or interest rate. If you've got a low interest rate, you're sacrificing on price and competition. If you're sacrificing on price, chances are the reason is because interest rates have gone up. So the situation we're in right now, interest rates have gone up, prices are pretty much plateaued, competition is very low. What do we do about that? Okay, first of all, focus on jumbo loans. Not everybody can do this because the price point is going to be higher, right? Jumbo loans up here in Summit County start at $833,240 or something like that. It's somewhere in the $833. So any loan over that is considered a jumbo loan. That's going to be shopped out to private investors that are willing to make those larger loan sizes, those larger valuations. You're going to be putting 25% down. Puts you in that category of properties that are over $1 million. But interest rates are still really good. I think we're in the 5s on those, right? So focus on the jumbo loans, because your monthly payment may be in that same area depending on your particular borrowing characteristics, as being in a conforming loan that is below that $833,000. So focus on jumbo loans. That's one strategy. The second one is the use of ARMs. Now, a lot of people really scared of ARMs. Okay, that's because of 2008, 2000 to 2011. People were getting crushed by these adjustable rate mortgages. People were signing up for them. They didn't know what they were doing. Here's the deal. ARMs, you can get a 5-to-1 ARM, a 6-to-1, a 7-to-1. I mean, you can get some really interesting products out there right now. We've got, there's another lender out there that has, Sam Daly has a product that's for 2 years. First year, you're 2% under market rate. Second year, you're 1% under market rate. Third year, you go to market rate. So you have 2 years to make those payments and catch up on the property. And so I think what we're looking at right now, we're trying to squash inflation. That's why interest rates are going up. Once inflation has been squashed, it is predicted that interest rates will come back down a little bit. So you can refinance in those next 5 to 7 years. It's not going to take 5 to 7 years to squash inflation, right? So once that happens, we'll see those interest rates kind of settle back down a little bit. You can refinance out of that ARM into a 30-year fixed. So second technique, using an ARM to get the property that you want. And the third one is, we haven't seen a ton of it yet, but I think it's something that would be really interesting. And we've seen it in a couple of places, but not a ton. Rate buy downs and seller concessions, okay? In this one, here we go, okay, we're buying a property, we're using financing, we've got a, let's say on the high end, a 7% interest rate. We want to buy that interest rate down. We give the seller their price. We ask for big seller concessions to help buy that rate down to something that is more palatable for you as the buyer, so that we can get you in that rate monthly payment area that you really need to be. This is the time where we can negotiate with sellers. As soon as we come through this whole process, we're going to be right back at it with competition going up, rates coming back down, and prices appreciating quicker again. So, if you have any questions about that, teamflick@summitliving.com. This was a long one, but I hope you stuck with me, because I think we've got some really good strategies that we can talk about. Have a great week. See you next week for another episode of Flick Notes.